right, church, it's Wednesday, and you know what that means. It's time for this week's edition of Wednesday Wi-Fi. How is your divine connection? And I was praying for you this morning early, and as I was thinking about divine connection, I want you to reframe maybe how you view your divine connection throughout the day, or, when you carve out time, and just reframe it in a way where as soon as your feet hit the floor in the morning, or even when you realize that you've woken up, maybe when you're still laying in bed even, that you just say to yourself, get in this habit of saying Psalm 118:24 over yourself. This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. And so you are reframing the very beginning, the very start of your day to say, God, I'm alive because of you. I've woken up because of you. Purpose is on my life, God. There's a reason why there's breath in my lungs, why I'm here on earth another day. And that is because of you, God. And then now it reframes the rest of your day to say, okay, I'm here on purpose because God has given me this day. And so I want to challenge you in your connection to just frame your day around Psalm 118:24. This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. So we're diving back into Proverbs chapter 27 and talking about this is the day and taking it one day at a time. I really want to focus on verse 1 in Proverbs chapter 27. And again, just a reminder, the goal is I read and kind of extrapolate one verse in a proverb, and then you go and read the rest of the chapter. And what a chapter this is. I was really wrestling. There's so many great and highlightable verses in chapter 27. Faithful are the wounds of a friend, versus the kisses of an enemy. Iron sharpens iron. Man is tested by his praise. Know well the condition of your flock. I mean, there's so many great verses, but so read the rest of the Proverbs, all that to say that. But I want to talk about verse 1 in chapter 27, and it says this: do not boast about tomorrow. You do not know what a day may bring. And again, it just reels it back into, this is what you've got. Today is what you've got. This Wednesday, whatever happened earlier in the week has already happened, or month or year or years, it's done. What is happening tomorrow may never come, quite frankly. Jesus could come back today. Let it be, Lord. But he's saying, listen, today is what you've been given. Today is what you know. This is the present. And there's so many different scriptures that address getting either bogged down by yesterday or too concerned about tomorrow and not being present in today. Don't boast about tomorrow. You don't know what a day will bring. Be thankful for today. Jesus gives a parable in Luke chapter 12. He says that there was a certain rich man who yielded an abundant harvest. He thought to himself, what shall I do? I have no place to store my crops. Then he said, this is what I'll do. I'll tear down my barns and build bigger ones. I'll store a surplus of grain. And I said to myself, now you have plenty of grain for many years. Take life easy, eat, drink, be merry. But God said to him, you fool, this very night your life will be demanded from you. Then you will get what you have prepared for yourself. And what Jesus was saying is somebody who had put all their stock in earthly riches, all their stock in what they could get here on earth, and were not concerned about heavenly riches and the fact that this day, that day, could have been the very day where they got to meet God, and they weren't prepared because they had no heavenly treasures. They were only focused in, hey, I've got everything. I'm surplus for years to come, years and years. And God says, you fool, this is the very night where your life will be required of you. Your soul will be required of you. We should be people of today. Jesus said when he taught them how to pray, give us this day our daily bread. Give us this day. Jesus says, take up your cross daily. We said it before. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. The book of James says, don't let the sun go down on your wrath. Don't let the sun go down on your anger. We talked about this last Sunday. I could have heard some crickets when we were talking about anger this past Sunday, but we're not there yet for the sermon in 60 seconds. And then in James chapter 4, he says, come now, you who say today or tomorrow, we will go to this town and spend a year there and trade and make a profit. Yet you do not know what tomorrow will bring. What is your life? You're here, a mist that appears for a little time and then vanishes. Take advantage of today. Today is the day you've got. Let's grab and seize today. Let's do all we can for Jesus today. Let's frame today around the understanding that you're here on purpose. Here's your sermon in 60 seconds. It got a little intense. We were talking about the anger of Jonah. This guy was angry. He was upset, and God asked him, he says, do you do well to do angry? Like, how's your anger working out for you, Jonah? You don't have joy, you have anger. Jonah was angry that the Ninevites got saved. He was angry and upset about everything that God was doing in their lives. When Jonah should have been rejoicing, he was covered in anger. And so God addresses his anger, and we ended the chapter by saying, you know what? God had to give him a living illustration of a plant. And he said, look, you pity a plant more than you believe I should pity the Ninevites. So he's like, look, this plant that you didn't sow the seed, you didn't water, you didn't fertilize, you did nothing. It was here today, gone tomorrow. You're all upset and mad for this plant that it wasn't shown mercy and it was destroyed. And yet you're mad at God. You're mad at me, he says, because I pity these Ninevites, 120,000. And then it ends. And we learned that the echo of the text, when it ends without any resolution, any conflict resolution, just like in the prodigal son with the older brother, we don't know if he ever made things right with his brother and his dad, and we don't know what Jonah did, but the text speaks to you and I. What will you and I do when the Holy Spirit begins to work on us? Maybe it's not anger, maybe it's something else that the Holy Spirit is working on you. Maybe it's pride, or maybe it's lust, or maybe it's an addiction, and the Holy Spirit is trying to get into your heart and deal with you on that issue. What will you do? It's irrelevant how the story ended for Jonah or the older brother. The story is in your hands now. How will your story end? This Sunday, I'm excited. I was going to dive into a series, but I felt led to just hit the pause button on that. And so you're going to have to wait. I have something up my sleeve. I believe I should say the Holy Spirit has something up his sleeve and is pressing me in a certain direction. And so I'm very excited. It's Communion Sunday. I'll see you this Sunday at 8, 9, and 11. God bless you. Have a great rest of your week.